Howdy crew, today I'll be going over how to hook up the Miller SuitCase ArcReach 12 to the Trailblazer 330 air pack. Let's get to it. So setting this critter on up, it is the Miller SuitCase ArcReach 12, so it does have ArcReach technology, and this is a brand new Trailblazer 330 air pack, so it also has the ArcReach technology. So these do work in conjunction, which is perfect. If you have an older machine, it will run this like a regular suitcase without the ArcReach capabilities. That being said, let's go get into how this is all hooked up. My ground here is hooked to the positive terminal. Reason being, running flux core goes through DC negative, DCEN, which is DC electrode negative. So I know they are crisscross at the front of the machine, but I'm gonna go ahead and get to starting at the workpiece. I just have a random piece of angle iron here, and the ground is connected as well as the feeler cable. So the ground goes straight to the Trailblazer. The feeler cable goes to the SuitCase. So I'm gonna go ahead and track this on back. The ground, as y'all can see, I've connected to a 50-foot cable, so the lead goes here, and I will show y'all it being hooked up to the Trailblazer on the positive end. Now going back over here for the SuitCase, everything is hooked up, feeler cable, all that stuff for the gun, everything is hooked up. I do have it hooked to my lead that will be going to the DC negative terminal. And again, as you all know, I do have the quick disconnects on there, so that's all good. Just making sure everything looks good here, so everything's connected. And again, connections, make sure that everything is connected, as well as this one. Want to make sure that is connected to our 50-foot cable. And I do see some folks have an issue with these sometimes, and it's because they just forget to connect this, or they forget to put their feeler clamp on, or their ground, or forget to connect their ground. So there's all kinds of things that can go wrong, but let's go ahead and hook these critters on up. It is going to be quite loud, so I'm doing most of the speaking now. So as I said, the ground cable, the one that's on this side of the truck, the ground is going to go into the positive terminal. The lead that hooks to the SuitCase is going to be going into the negative terminal. Now I know some folks get confused because on here it does say electrode, and this one says work end, but you can put them back and forth depending on what process you're using. So just remember that. So double checking all of our cables. You want to double check them again. Make sure everything's good. Try not to step on the gun there. So we have the Bernard gun. It's going to be right there. And then again, it looks like there's almost no knobs here, but it's on the side. And we have our power for off, but turn that on in just a moment. So again, it's going to be quite loud, so I won't be speaking while I'm turning on the machine and bringing it back here to look at it, but I'll do a bit more speaking afterwards. So let's get to it. as y'all can see, the voltage was changed on the Trailblazer to what it was over here. I do know that the camera, when it records, it looks like the numbers are flashing across, but in reality they're not. I don't know why it does that. I've seen that before for recordings, that they do flash across, or it looks like they're flashing across, but I could see everything just sitting right where it should be, all the numbers displayed, not darting across the screen. So if it does that, I apologize. That's nothing I can do unless there's some sort of shutter change, but I have no intention of changing the shutter just for that little bit. Just know that it does stay constant on there. Whatever the voltage and amperage is, it'll stay there. And when it's calibrating stuff, obviously you all saw the different codes on there, but once it's going, it just stays there. And you can change this good stuff. You can even change this while you're welding if you're close by, and you can feel where this is. You know which one you're changing. If you know you're changing your wire speed and stuff, you're changing your voltage, then you can just kind of feel over here, and while you're welding you can just rub up against it, and you have to know which way you're going obviously, but just rub up against it and you will start feeling the change in your wire feed speed or your voltage, and you can do that while you're welding. But anywho's, I'm gonna go turn that off. That's how everything's connected. If y'all want a more in-depth detail, I can do that as well, especially out in the field when I have more room and stuff here in the yard. But that's pretty much it. And again, remember, this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. So if you're doing stick, know which electrodes you're using, what you're using them for. You're doing flux core, you go for the negative terminal, and your ground is hooked to the positive terminal. So again, that's what I've stressed many times in different vlogs about what electrodes and what processes do what. And y'all do need to know that when you're out in the field, you can't be doing guesswork and doing poor welds when everything's supposed to be structurally sound. But that's the hookup of the Miller SuitCase ArcReach 12 to the Miller Trailblazer 330 air pack. Both brand new machines, working fantastic. Can't wait to use them out in the field. Gonna have everything bolted down hopefully soon, and be seeing y'all in the next vlog. Hope y'all enjoyed. Stay safe out in the job sites, y'all.